Hi, good evening, and a warm welcome to all the participants in today's webinar. And we'll just wait for a couple of minutes just to allow everyone to join in and settle down, and then we'll get started with the formal discussion. However, we'll use this time firstly to understand, like if you have to participate in this webinar effectively, how can you do that? First of all, this is a webinar format, so this is unlike the meeting format where we can have a one-on-one interaction. This is a webinar format, so obviously one-on-one interaction is not possible, but there are tools which we'll be using for interaction. So there are basically two tools that we are going to use in today's session for our interactions, and those tools are Q&A and the chat option. Let me just look into an issue with the live stream. Just give me a quick second to do that. All right, so live stream is also working fine. Perfect. Now, coming back to the point which I was trying to explain to you, and which was around how we can interact, because this is a webinar format, so obviously that one-on-one kind of interaction is not possible. So how can we interact? So that's where we'll be using two tools. One is question and answer, and second is live chat. So Q&A is basically something which we'll be using for questions. So if there's anything that you would want to understand, you can add that in the Q&A. And chat is something which I'll be using for our interaction, or you can also use that for sharing information about your business with other wonderful business owners who are also joining us here today. All right. So, in which you can see already a few of the participants have started doing that. So, that's how we'll be connecting and interacting. Uh, Mr. Prateek from FIO is also joining us here today. Welcome, Prateek, to today's session.
Hi Adnan. Hello everyone. Good evening to all.
All right. So, as I was mentioning to you about the interactions that we'll be doing, so Q&A and chat. And towards the end of this session, we'll dedicate some time around 15 minutes, wherein if there's a question which is unanswered, so there are certain questions that we are aware of which are typically asked, so we'll try to answer them in our address only. However, if there is a question which is unanswered, so we'll try to take that up in the Q&A round. Right, so don't worry on that. If you're asking a question and you're not getting a response from our side, we'll take that up in the Q&A round. Even if you're not happy with the response or explanation that we have given to you, you can connect on one-on-one as well. Right. So I and Pratik will both of us will share our email IDs, and if there's a further question, etc., you can ask that question through an email as well. Or if you want to discuss anything further in detail and you want to have one-on-one meeting, that is also possible. We'll share our details for you to connect with us. All right. So don't worry on that. Right. If there's something which I haven't understood, then what will happen? Don't worry on that. We are here to help you out, right? In this session and beyond this session as well. All right. So this is where I think now we should get started. So, like it is a customary thing. So let me welcome everyone. So good evening and a warm welcome to all the participants who are joining us here today. Today's is a very interesting topic wherein we are going to learn how international buyers are connecting with Indian exporters on Indian Business Portal. So I think without spending any more time, let's begin. So this is where I am going to firstly introduce myself, and then I'll request Prateek to also share a brief introduction and also share with the audience about Indian Business Portal. All right. So this is where let's begin, and then we'll get into the presentation where I'll start sharing my screen. So my name is Adnan, and I am Director SME Commerce Growth at Global Inker. My focus area at Global Inker is digital commerce. But in addition to that, I actively work on sharing information with the business owners across many countries on how they can use digital technology to grow their business. Because in today's day and age, availability of technology or existence of technology is no longer a challenge. The challenge is knowing how to use that technology, right? So that's where we try to contribute as much as possible. And as part of that effort, we have conducted more than 450 such sessions in various countries and had the wonderful opportunity of connecting and interacting with more than 12,000 businesses. Right, so that was a quick brief about myself. Now I'll request Prateek ji to also introduce himself, and then we'll get started with
Yeah, thanks, Adnan. So, myself, Prateek Navle, and I look after the Indian Trade Portal and Indian Business Portal at FIO. At Indian Business Portal, as Adnan says, that this is a platform as an international trader for foreign buyers as well as the Indian exporters. So quickly, I just need to touch base the what is the background of Indian Business Portal and how exactly it works. So before going into the live demo, you people should understand. We have seen there are many exporters who don't have any kind of a digital visibility, or if they are basically facing a challenge to create their product catalog and sharing with the foreign buyers. And there are a lot of products are in the market, but they are not able to create the website due to the challenges of cost and all that. So on Indian Business Portal, we have given an options where you can create your first digital store. I'm talking about it could, so you can call it as a your own website, you can call as a digital store, you can call it an e-store. So you can basically create your digital store where you can put your about informations, what kind of business you are seeking, whether you wanted to you can upload your product and you can ask for only inquiries, or you can basically put the prices over there and start selling that product. So our objective is that who have not yet started business, first you create your profile on FIO Global Linker, which is a part of Indian Business Portal, or you can say Indian Business Portal is a part of FIO Global Linker. This initiative. So on FIO Global Linker, you are creating your business profile like LinkedIn, you are creating your e-store, and you are also networking with the people on that Global Linker community. Once you are ready, that you have that import export code, you have a GST, you are ready to export your product, you wanted to seek the new buyers which you coming to your platform, then you can integrate your store with Indian Business Portal and there are absolutely no charges. But you need to fulfill that, you must be having an import export code because only the exporters could be a part of Indian Business Portal. So once you are a part of an Indian Business Portal, your profile will be get showcased to the all foreign buyers. On the FIO side, we keep sending an emails to the foreign buyers which we have. We are keep interacting with them. We are basically encouraging them to register on our platform. On an Indian Business Portal, the foreign buyer can directly come to your store and they can basically discuss the business, or they contact to the FIO and they say that okay, they would be happy to connect with the sellers from India. They would be happy to manufacturers from India. They wanted to connect with only manufacturers, exporters from India. So first of all, we understand their requirement because there are some language issues. There are issues in terms of understanding the requirement. Like most of the foreign buyers, they are come and they say that we are looking for a constructions material. So constructions material start from a rubber, engineering products, irons and steels, sanitary things, tiles, many products are there. It could be a part of interior also. So we basically connect to them, we understand their requirement, we understand their quantity, because some of the exporters, they are not interested into going into small orders. So we understand the requirement and accordingly we post that requirement on Indian Business Portal. Now, whoever is a part of Indian Business Portal or who is a registered with the FIO Global Linker community, they basically get the alerts through our email that this new query has been basically posted on Indian Business Portal. And now this is your turn to basically click on that query, understand the requirements and submit the information according to what is your company name, what is your basically expertise in exporting that particular product. And this information can be gathered over there. Now, once you basically complete this all information, then you can submit your interest. Once that interest come to us, we basically filter that data and we share that data with the foreign buyers on a real-time basis. We allow the foreign buyer to take the 1 week time to basically go through with the suppliers details, what have suppliers submitted the information, and the buyers comes within a week and says that okay, he wanted to connect with this 4 5 or 10 suppliers. If he's not coming to it any kind of an requirements, or if he's not submitting the who is the potential seller, then that buyer's information, that company name as well as the foreign buyer details, we shared with all the exporters who have registered, who have submitted their interest. So be clear in your mind, this is the cycle, and the cycle every time there is a more issue of the credibility, because suppliers wanted to understand whether buyer is a credible, and buyer also wanted to understand whether supplier is credible. So keeping a balance between both the buyers and sellers, we are basically doing our matchmaking action activity, and we are basically allow you to do the business. So understand that there is no absolute database where you can go to the Indian business portal and start connecting with. No, it is more of a, you publish the business, you do your own work. It could be SEO, SEM, whatever is required, and whoever the foreign buyer will come, they will start connecting to you. We have a many use cases, we have a many success cases where we have seen that exporter is doing a business, but they are not informing to us. But we are nothing to with your business, we are just here to do the matchmaking and increase the exports from India. So without taking much time, I would ask Adnan to basically show us how to connect that, and what are the requirements to do match this conversation on India's business portal. Over to you, Adnan.
Perfect. Thank you, Prateek. Thank you for sharing that wonderful information with our participants here. I can imagine all of you are extremely excited to understand more about how you can connect with international buyers on Indian Business Portal, and also to understand how you can join, because I can imagine many of you have not joined and you are looking forward to doing that. So without spending any more time, I think we should get started. I can see there's one question in the chat. One of the participants is asking for GI certificate. So we'll take up these questions uh, in the Q&A round, when we'll break into the Q&A round. So towards the end of the session, we'll dedicate about 15 minutes, and that's where we'll take up all these questions. All right. So this is where we'll get started. One quick note which I'm going to share with you, and this is something which has happened in one of my previous session, and that was when I started sharing the screen. Few of the participants, especially the ones who were joining through their smartphones, they had this issue that they were not able to see the screen. It was like either not showing or they were seeing a white screen. So if that happens, it generally happens. So I'll tell you the reason why it happens. So it happens because the application which you have on your smartphone is not updated. That is primarily the reason why it happens. So in case it happens, the easiest fix is log out or leave the meeting, update the application, join back again, and that you'll be able to see the screen share, right? So just God forbid if it happens and you are not able to see the screens, I'm already telling you a solution for that. All right. So let's begin. I'm going to start sharing my screen, and I will need your help in knowing that you're able to see my screen. And I am going to firstly take you to a, just give me a quick second to start sharing my screen. Sorry. So my screen share has just started. Let me hide the floating window, and let me. So if anyone from the participant can confirm if you are able to see my screen. Yes, wonderful. So thank you, everyone. I'll not be able to name everyone or personally thank. There are a lot of people who have confirmed that you are able to see the screen. So wonderful. Thank you, everyone, for letting me know that you are able to see the screen. So this were a very brief presentation. I'm not going to bore you with the presentation, but just to give you a sense of the entire ecosystem which is here, which you can leverage to grow your business. So what is this entire ecosystem that you can leverage? Let's go through it very, very quickly. So, and I'm just showing it to you because we have done these kind of sessions many times, and one of the challenge which I've seen is that because there are so many parts to it, that you're not able to see the entire picture. You're not able to see the bird's eye view, right? So that is why I'm showing you this presentation, so that you're able to understand. And then when I take you through the entire thing, you're able to relate to it so very quickly. And then we'll move on to understand how you can connect with international buyers. And then we'll move on to that journey of creating your digital catalog and then joining Indian Business Portal. So we'll broadly divide it into two parts. Firstly, very quickly, just having a glance of the entire ecosystem and how you'll be able to leverage it. So this is your business, just imagine, and you'll be creating something called digital catalog, and we'll be discussing about digital catalog in more detail at a later point in time. But you have to create something called digital catalog, all right? And then that digital catalog gets linked with Indian Business Portal. So this is the joining process, how you're able to join. But that's not what I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you how it benefits your business. So this where international buyers, through FIO's effort, they are being brought onto Indian Business Portal, and your digital catalog or the offerings are already visible on Indian Business Portal. So that is where you'll get the business. In addition to that, you can also do your own marketing. So you can do search engine optimization or digital marketing or emailing or there. I don't have to get into specific. There are so many marketing activities that you can do. And through those marketing activities, you'll be able to connect with international buyers and bring them to your own digital catalog. And through that, you can do the business. So this through FIO's effort, they are coming to Indian Business Portal, and that's where they are seeing your offerings. They are seeing you as a business, and then they are connecting with you. And second is on your digital catalog. And there is third island of opportunity, which is your business community, or you're becoming part of business community. And that's where you can do B2B networking, and there also you can connect with international buyers. So this is the entire ecosystem which is there for you to leverage. Now we'll go into specifics. So I'll just minimize this presentation, or I'll very quickly switch my screen and we'll quickly go to Indian Business Portal. So this is Indian Business Portal. And as I mentioned earlier, we will be dividing our discussions into two parts. The first part, I'm going to explain to you how international buyers will be connecting with you. And that is the agenda or the topic for today's webinar as well. What are the various methods and which are there? And if in future you have to leverage any of those methods, how you can do that. So we'll understand all that. So that is the first part that we'll be discussing. The second part is how you will be able to join Indian Business Portal, how you can start showcasing your business here. So that is the second part of the discussion that we'll be doing here today. All right. So let's begin with the first part. And I'll skip the introduction of Indian Business Portal because that is something which Pratik has already explained quite well in a very great detail. He has already explained. So we'll skip that. And we will straight away jump on to understanding how international buyers can connect with you, or how you can connect with them on Indian Business Portal. So there are broadly two methods which are there, or two channels which are there, which can be used by an international buyer when they have to connect with Indian exporters on Indian Business Portal. What are those channels? The first channel is wherein they have decided that this is what I am requiring for, and then they're asking Indian exporters present on Indian Business Portal to submit their requisition. So as Pratik has also explained, that sometimes they approach FIO that this is what we are looking at, and then FIO understands their requirement further, and then those requirements are also presented here. So one option is that they can come here and you can see post buying requirement here. So they can click on it and then they can submit their buying requirement that this is what we are looking at. And if you happen to be an exporter of this particular product, you can submit your requisition. So that is one, or they can approach FIO or any government entity, and then it is displayed here. Now, these requirements are displayed here on the home page of Indian Business Portal. And if I click on view all, so this is where you can see there are a number of requests. So there is a zinc carbon battery requirement. There's a customized product for aerospace requirement for Brazil, which is there. And these are typically live for a week's period. So if you happen to be an exporter, you can come here and you can submit your requisition. Obviously, of these products, you can submit your requisition. Now, how can you do that? So for that, you have to just click on click on that button, click here, and which will take you to this form. Now here, before you start filling the form, it is important that you firstly review the requirement, that what is the requirement, what details. With each requirement, you'll see there is a great amount of details which is provided. So I'm just opening the other requirement also. So this where you can see the technical details or product specifications are also mentioned here. So just review those. And once you have a good understanding of the requirement, then you can proceed ahead to submit the requisition. And that's where you have to provide few basic details like email, company name, mobile number, and then IEC code of your organization, whether you're a manufacturer or merchant. You have to upload your IEC certificate. Then if you are a FEO or any Export Promotion Council member, then you have to upload your certificate, RCMC certificate. If you have an online store which is linked with Indian Business Portal, then you can select yes, and you can input the link of your digital catalog on Indian Business Portal as well. And then you have product specification. You have to specify whether you have understood the product specification, and then comes the experience, right? So there's where in the response as well, it is explained or it is written. You can read that. I'm not sure how big it is on your screen, but here you can read if yes, explain in brief about your experience, right? Now this is where something which we have observed in past is that many times when people are submitting this form, they are just typing yes. You should also add details about your experience, because this is where understand, let's say there are 100 exporters who have submitted the requisition, and you have just written yes, and there is another exporter who has written few lines explaining the kind of experience they have, and they have also given a reference of something that they have done in past. So obviously who will be chosen, right? You know the answer, I'm not going to tell that, but obviously, so that's where it is crucial that you should also add these details, so that when the international buyer or importer has to make a decision that whom should we choose, they can make that decision because you have given them input. You are trying to impress them, right? So there's a person who's not trying to impress you, and there's a person who is making all the effort in the world to impress you. Whom would you choose, right? So the person who's making all that effort because they are serious about the business. So you should show your seriousness. You should show your eagerness to impress that international buyer by adding as much credential. I'm not suggesting like you write an essay here, but in a brief manner, whatever is possible, you should mention, you should do that, right? So objective is to impress the international buyer so that they can select you. They must select you. You should be aiming for that. And then you have experience of exporting to Germany. You can select yes or no. And then lastly, you have to tell about your business capability. Another opportunity for you to impress the international client, right? Again, add information as much as possible, but the important point is to relevant information. It is not like you're writing something random here, but important information about your business, about your experience, or what kind of capabilities you have, what kind of quality control processes, certifications or awards, etc. Right? Again, impressing that international buyer so that when they're making that decision, they are selecting you. All right. So this is something which I thought of sharing with you about the requisition when it comes to submitting the requisition. So please keep these points in mind. I'll just quickly reiterate the process very quickly, because this is a very important thing and it might get missed out. So one of the methods through which you can connect with international buyers is submitting your requisitions. From time to time, these requisitions are updated and they are here for 1 week's period. So every week they'll keep changing out from time to time, depending on how they're coming. They keep changing. So keep an eye here. We do send emails to all the participants of Indian Business Portal as well as FEO Global Linkers. So you will get an email, but there is a chance that email may get overlooked, or it may land in the spam folder and you may miss out on that. So once the quick suggestion that I share with everyone is that it hardly takes you like 30 seconds. Just open, and you can do that on your smartphone as well. You don't even have to open your laptop. You can just open your smartphone and then open this section on Indian Business Portal, and you can see which are the leads. You can do it at a particular point in time, right? You can set an alarm in your smartphone, check the RFQs on Indian Business Portal, and you can just come here. It will hardly take you half a minute, and you can check so that you're not missing out on. Although there's a technology intervention or notification method which is there, but there are chances mm, there are chances that you may for some reason you haven't checked the email, you were busy with something, or there's a possibility that it lands in your spam folder, and or you have received other emails on top of it and then it gets missed out. So various scenarios which can happen. So just 30 seconds and you'll not be missing out on them. Second, when you are submitting the form, firstly understand the requirement and then add as much information as possible from your side, because the intent is that international buyer must select you, right? So you have to impress them to that extent that they have to select. There's no option left. You don't have to give them an option, right? So that should be your focus. All right. So this is one method which is available wherein international buyer, or this is how you can connect with international buyers on Indian Business Portal. Now, the second method is wherein they are coming to Indian Business Portal and they have a specific requirement. So that is where they are searching for Indian exporters. And how do they go about doing that? So one is obviously they can search by product, which is visible here. So straight away they can come and they can search by product. There is also a search by supplier name. So if they know that you are a popular supplier or you're a trustworthy supplier of the product that they are looking for or the service they are looking for, so they can search by supplier name as well. And the third is ITC HS code. So HS code is also a very popular method which is used by international buyers when they are coming for looking for the product, when they're searching here. So that's where we have given a HS code option as well, so that you can search by HS codes, or international buyers can search by HS code as well, and they can find you. In addition to that, we have a very elaborate and extensive navigation, which is here, which is nearly like 5,000 categories and subcategories, which are broadly covering majority of products or almost all the products which are exported from India. So they can go through navigation as well. So for example, they are someone who's looking for rice. So they can come here and they can find rice here. Here you can see rice is there for rice. So they can go through navigation as well. So that's how they can go through the multiple methods which are available, and then they can find you. So I have, I think, opened one of the seller's profile also here. So just to show you, so just imagine that we are someone who's looking for, yeah, they are, I think, into chemicals. So someone who's looking for chemicals, and we came across this seller's profile. So we came here and we go through the profile, and that's where we can see all the products which are there from this particular seller. And once we have identified that this is the seller who can provide us the product. Now, this is where I'll just take you to side for a very quick moment. And this is extremely important as well. So I'm not just wasting your time, but this is something that a lot of businesses don't realize. And obviously, everyone is not an expert in the digital space. Digital still is a new entity. Probably 2, 3 generations from now, digital will be a normal way of life, and our like grandchildren will be an expert into this. But obviously, in today's day and age, uh, including myself, we are not an expert into this. This is new for us. So this is where it is extremely important for you to understand that there are two parts to the challenge that you are trying to solve. What are those parts? And firstly, what is the challenge that you're trying to solve? The challenge is that you want yourself to be selected by international buyer when they are looking for your product. That is what you're trying to achieve. Then only you'll get the lead, and then only you'll get the order, then only you'll be able to do the transaction, right? So that's logical. Now, there are two parts to it. The first part is discoverability. That is, the international buyer or your prospective customer is able to discover you. They are able to find you. That is the first challenge, and that's where the entire marketing, search engine optimization, Indian Business Portal, all that comes into that bucket. Discoverability. It is solving that discoverability challenge. Indian Business Portal also does that for you. Now, the second part of the challenge is credibility, trustworthiness. So this is where, imagine the scenario that I am an international buyer and I'm looking for importing one of their products like AOS liquid. So I found this wonderful exporter on Indian Business Portal. Now, what is the next thought, next logical thought that comes? Is it a genuine seller? How do I verify? How do I make sure, right? I'm sitting like thousands of kilometers away. I'm sitting in a different continent. How do I make sure, right? That is the second challenge that you have to solve for. And that is where you have to ensure that on your profile everywhere. And this is not like just here on your screen when you're looking at, you have to solve that challenge everywhere on your website, on your social media profile, wherever you have the profile, everywhere you have to solve this challenge that if I come across your profile, I should be not having that thought that whether it is a genuine business or not, right? So you should present yourself as a trustworthy business. And how can you do that? So here, I'll just quickly explain to you what all you can do. So one is certificates, which you can see here. I'll go to the about section, which is basic, but one very, very powerful tool that you have to present yourself as a trustworthy business is certificates. Here you can see the certificate is added. Now, the suggestion is as many certificates as possible. Whatever certificate you have, you should add all of them here so that they're visible here, and international buyers, when they are looking for your products, they can see your certificate and they can think that this is a trustworthy business. It is a genuine business, right? So certificates is something that you should. Then you have about section here, and this is linked with your digital catalog. So this is where, again, add as much information as possible. Again, the objective is to impress the other person so that they didn't have any doubt whatsoever in your business. They are absolutely clear. This is a genuine business and we must do business with them, right? So add all the information as possible so that you're answering to that question, which almost everyone will have, that whether it is a trustworthy or genuine business or not, right? So you're solving for that credibility problem or challenge. All right. Now coming back here, so the question that we were trying to get an answer to is how an international buyer connects with Indian exporter. We have seen one of the method is the second method, and this is where once they have identified or once they have chosen that this is a exporter we would like to do business with, how will they connect with you? There are multiple methods which are available. I'll walk you through all the methods. The first method, and a very popular one these days, is request meeting, which you can see here. So this is where international buyers can schedule an online meeting with you, similar to how we are meeting, and they can connect with you face to face, although sitting like in a different continent, but they can connect with you face to face and they can explain their requirement in a better way. You can explain about your business and you can take the discussion forward. You can take the transaction forward. So that is one of the very popular method these days. That is request meeting. Now, a question which gets sometime asked, and that also gets generated from the conventional or the older platform which were existing in the similar space. And is there a subscription model which is available which we can take and we can get leads or these meeting requests, etc.? Absolutely not. This is where your performance matters, and I will also be sharing with you the mistakes that you should not do when you're building this presence for yourself. Otherwise, your effort will get wasted, and we absolutely don't want you to waste your precious time and effort. Right? So I'll also share with you the mistakes that you should not do. But the answer to that is this is where your performance will matter. And what are the things that you should ensure? That is something that I will be sharing later. So request meeting is one of the methods that should be used. And then we have contact seller, which you can see here. So using contact seller, they'll be sending you a request that, hey, we are interested to connect with you. You will get this request because many of you will be interested to understand, like, how will we get this request if someone is sending? So we'll get it on our email. Yes, you'll get it on your email, and it will also get added to the control panel of your digital catalog so that, like, if you have to go back and look at it, you can do that as well, right? So this is the second method which is available. The third method is Visit Store. They can click on Visit Store and they can go to your digital catalog, and that's where they can see your contact details, your email ID and phone number, and they can connect with you. And the third is this contact seller, or this is the fourth one, the contact seller. This is where again they can write a message, they can put their email ID and submit the request. This will get added as an inquiry. So on the control panel of your Airtel Cardlog, there's an inquiry section. It will get added there, and you will get an email as well, right? So for everything which is happening here, whether they are inquiring for a product or if they're sending you a contact seller request, you'll get an email. All right. So these are the methods which an international buyer can use to connect with you on Indian Business Portal. There is one more part I showed to you about the community feature. We'll try to cover that later once we have gone through the second part of our discussion. That is how you can join Indian Business Portal. All right. So this is where now we are beginning, or we are starting the second part of our discussion, and that is around what? How you can become part of the Indian Business Portal, how you can start showcasing your wonderful product or services on Indian Business Portal. Let's try to understand that process. Now, as I mentioned to you earlier when I was showing you that presentation, that you have to create a digital catalog. And I'll very quickly take you back to that presentation. So very quickly, I'm taking you back to this presentation, and I'm doing just that so that I can refresh your memory. And if there's any participant who has joined late, they can also understand the entire ecosystem. I'll just quickly walk you all through. So you have to create this your business, and you'll be creating a digital catalog. Now that digital catalog gets linked with the Indian Business Portal or connected with Indian Business Portal, and that's how your product or service offering in your profile, everything starts appearing on Indian Business Portal. And then through Fio's effort, international buyers will be coming to Indian Business Portal, and that's where they'll be seeing your product offering, and they will be connecting with you, and either using either of the methods that we understood earlier, or you can do your own marketing efforts as well, because now you have a digital catalog, and through that digital catalog, you can do your own marketing activity as well, and you can bring international buyers onto your digital catalog, and you can do business with them there as well. And the third is through business community. So you are also becoming, so when you're going through this process of this connection process, you're also becoming a part of a business community which has members from 150 countries. So that's where again you can do business networking. So you can look for businesses from the other countries, the target countries where you'd want to export your products, and there you can connect with them and then explain them about the product offerings that you have, and you can do the business with them that way. So this is the entire ecosystem. I'm just quickly taking you all through so that again the memory is refreshed. Now let's begin, and let's try to understand about this thing called digital catalog. So what is a digital catalog? So digital catalog is basically a computer file or a example of a person's work which can be accessed in a digital format and can be easily accessed through a prospective customer. Right, so the textbook definition is something which I've given on the screen. So I'll not waste your precious time there. Now, in a simple common man's language, right? In our daily language, what is a digital catalog? So digital catalog is basically a website, right? But with few special capabilities, right? So if a website has these capabilities, we can call it as a digital catalog, or we can qualify it as a digital catalog. If that website does not have these capabilities, we cannot qualify it as a digital catalog. What are those capabilities? So the first one, it can showcase product and services, right? So in addition to the business information, which typically most of the websites do, that this is the business, this is the founder's history, etc., etc. In addition to that, it can showcase information about product or services depending on what is the offering by that business, and it can allow that business to generate orders or inquiries, right? So this is not like the business has a contact form and people can go and do the contact. It has dedicated feature for orders or inquiries, right? So depending on your requirement, whether you want to receive orders, so it can allow your customers to place an order, or if you just want to receive inquiries, it allows you to do that as well. So that is the second capability. And the third one is it showcases information about the business as well, which is assumed. Most of the websites do that. So third is like assumed two capabilities, which is showcasing product and accepting orders. If a website has these capabilities, then we can call them as a digital catalog or qualify, a website can qualify as a digital catalog. Now, how many types of digital catalog can be created? Because typically when it comes to digital catalog and digital commerce, typical examples which are there are of B2C, where we are selling in smaller quantities to retail customer, but it can be done in as effective manner for B2B businesses as well. So there are broadly four types of digital catalogs which can be created. The first one is obviously where you are generating leads, a B2B business utilization. Then you are generating orders, which is a B2C utilization. Then there is a hybrid where you can do both of the things, leads and inquiries at the same time. And then you have distributor and retail. So this is where if there are regular orderings happening, those can also be done through digital catalog. And it also has another utilization in the export business or in export ecosystems. I'll also explain that. All right. So this is where I'm going to quickly switch my screen, because this is a lot of very boring textbook information that I've shared with you. But I hope you have understood a little bit of it. And I'm going to switch my screen and I will to quickly take you through examples so that you can relate to it, what all I was saying, so that you can relate to it and then you can understand it in a better way. All right. So I'm going to very quickly walk you through a few of the examples so that you can understand what is a digital catalog and how many types of digital catalogs are there. All right. So we are looking at a website and they happen to be in export of these spare parts and then construction equipment or lawn maintenance equipment, landscaping equipment, etc. Right? So this is their digital catalog. Now, if we are going back to those rules which I explained to you, so it should showcase information about the products or service offerings. So this is where you can see the information is showcased on the home page itself, and it has a product section also where we can go and we can see the information about their product offering. We can do that. Now, the second rule was that it should allow that business to accept orders or inquiries. Now, if you're looking at this road roller, this is where you can see send inquiry or add to cart. So if someone is interested to buy this product, they can do an add to cart. And if someone is interested to send them an inquiry, they can do that. So this is a hybrid website where both the things are happening, right? So this is a digital catalog. And I deliberately took an example of a construction machinery or a construction equipment so that like the B2B audience is able to relate to it, right? Now I'll show you a B2C example. So there's a digital catalog of a natural beauty product brand, and this is where you can see add to cart. So this is where international buyers who are interested to buy their product, they can come here, they can do an add to cart, they receive an order, they pack the product, and they ship. Obviously, they're shipping overseas, and then the customer receive an order. So this is where again export is happening, the retail export is happening, where international buyer individual is buying for their personal consumption, whereas their institutional buying is happening. This is another example of a digital catalog, and like this is a high hardcore industrial product. So this is where again institutional buyers or in people from the industrial application industry who have these requirements for industrial motors, they're coming and they are doing what? They are sending an inquiry. I'll just quickly show you. So this is where again we are going to relate to our rules. So this is where they are sending an inquiry or they are requesting for a quotation that we are interested to buy these belt sanders, and then they can send them back. They can connect with them to understand their requirement further, and then they can share their quotation, right? So it depends on your requirement. There's another example. This where again a hybrid. So international buyers or someone who's looking to buy their products in bulk, they can send an inquiry, and individuals can do an add to cart. Right. There's another example. I'm just showing you a variety of examples. There's in handbags, and there's where you can see again both the things are possible. Let's see other examples. There's agri product example that you're looking at. This is where they are just wanting to receive inquiries, right? So if I quickly open the product page as well, so there's where we can see the visuals, description, and there's a send inquiry. There are a few examples also again. agri product. This is wigs. This is in agri product. This is ghee and other products, nutritional products, we can call them, right? So far, if we go back to the types of digital catalog, so there's one type of digital catalog, which is B2C, where online shopping is happening in common man's language. This is a hybrid example, or this is all a hybrid example. Both the things are happening at the same time. And then we were looking at that agri product example, where it was it here, which is the leads. So this is where leads or inquiries are getting generated, right? Now there's a fourth type also, and which is here. And this is the background to this capability is to cater to regular B2B buying. So in addition to retail customers, a lot of businesses have their distributors, their retailers who have to regularly buy the products from them. The conventional system or conventional distribution system is not that very efficient. So digital can be adopted to make it more efficient. Now, this also has a utilization in export. And what is that utilization? So this capability basically allows you to have your catalog or certain products on your catalog behind lock and key. And lock and key is like a common language example or common term I'm just using. So those are access controlled, which means that anyone who's coming to the website, they'll not be able to see those products. But the people whom you have granted the access, they will be able to see those products. And that's solved for that typical problem that sometimes exporters have, that if I'm showcasing my latest collection, my latest catalog on my website, then there's a possibility that my designs or styles might get stolen, they might get copied. So this also has a solution for that. All right. I'm not going to waste your precious time taking you through all the examples that I have here, but I believe that you have so far understood what is the digital catalog and how many types of digital catalogs are there. And we have seen few examples as well. All right, so this is where I'm not now going to switch the screen, and we'll go back to the presentation, and we'll go not to the presentation, to Indian Business Portal, to understand the process of creating the digital catalog. And then I'll take you back to presentation, because I have one more slide that I would want to show to you. All right, now coming to the process of how you can now create that digital catalog. So for creating the digital catalog, the very first thing that you have to do is you have to come to Indian Business Portal, and here you'll see there is an option which says sell on Indian Business Portal, register as Indian exporter. You have to click on that, which will open this page. I've already opened that. And once this page is open, you can certainly click on create your catalog. I'm not going to stop you, but I will advise you, or I'll request you, that you should also go through this page, and especially the frequently asked question section, which you can see here. So if you're going through this frequently asked question section here, it has few questions. I think 7, 8 of them are here. So you can review them, and most of the common questions that people have, you'll get answers to those, right? So please go through the FAQ section, so that if there are any doubts or any questions are there, you get the answer to that. All right. So on this page, I'll just repeat the process because we went a little sideways. So you have to firstly come to Indian Business Portal, and here you have to click on register as Indian exporter, which will open this page. On this page, if time is not of a concern, then you should review this page as well. It will give you a lot of insights about Indian Business Portal, and it will also answer a lot of questions that you may have. So just review this page. Whenever you have time, you can do that. And then you have to click on create your catalog, which is this big blue button. You can click there, you can click here. Both of them will take you to the same page. This is the page which will open up. Now here, before you start this filling part, where you're filling information about your first name, email ID, etc. Before you do that, I will urge you, or I'll request you, that you should click here. Here you can see we have embedded, or we have added a video. Please click on it, because this video will help you understand. So I'll just quickly switch my screen and take you to this video. So this video will help you understand this process of creating digital catalog. And we'll very quickly go through this video as well, because when it comes to creating digital catalog or websites, unfortunately, and this is true for my generation, older generation, even a generation younger to mine, is that whenever we hear the term e-commerce or website or anything technical, first thought that comes to our mind is it is a technical thing. You need a software development degree, or you need to know coding, and only then you'll be able to do that. Nothing that sort. In today's day and age, technology has improved, or technology has gone to that level that nothing of that is required. And that's why I am taking you through this, or I'm walking you through this process, so that you can also understand and appreciate that nothing technical is required, right? Obviously, your time is precious. So, very, very quickly, I'll just take you through this process. I'll not play the video, I'll just fast forward it. I'll just explain the important steps so that you can also understand the journey. So this is something which I've already explained. So we'll just go through it. We'll click on create your catalog, fill in the information, first name, email ID, password, input your mobile number, and do an OTP verification. Do a GST verification. This is also extremely important because otherwise your business will not be verified. Input your business name, legal entity type, select the location, and then specify the industry to which you belong, and then the type of business activities you are involved in. So, for example, if you are a manufacturer or an exporter, you can select both of them. It is a multi-select field, and after that, you'll come here, click on convert. Now this is where many times people just start adding products here. Don't do that. Click on the convert now button, which will start the conversion journey, or the digital catalog creation journey. Now here you have to answer three simple questions, like what is the objective, how many products would you like to upload, and would you like to have the minimum order quantity feature or not. After that, you click on next, which brings to you to this screen. On this screen, you have to select various design templates. You'll see number of design templates. You have to select any one of them, and in case you don't like it, you can change it at a later stage. Technically, you'll not believe you'll be able to change from one template to another template in 5 seconds. Although realistically, I'll agree that it will take you more time because you have to change the banners, etc. But like one template to another template within 5 seconds, you can move, right? So don't worry on that. I'm choosing something and I'll not like it, or what if I don't like it? Can I change it, right? It can easily be changed. And I've seen people get overly fascinated with the design of their website, and I am not saying that they are wrong in doing that, but this is not something which requires like a lot of your time and effort, because understand this is something that you'll be changing any which ways in next 12 months or 1 year, because in digital commerce industry, it is a common practice that you should give a new or a fresh look and feel to your digital catalog every 12 months, or at least once in a year, right? So this isn't something which is permanent. You'll be changing it in some time. You can do it quicker as well, right? So you can do it in 3 months or 6 months, or at least once in a year. You'll be changing that, right? So don't get overly fascinated with it. You can easily change that. All right, so you'll select a suitable template. In case you don't like it, you can change it at a later stage. Then you will come here. This is where you'll see your business name is already there. In case you have done a typing error, you can fix that here. And then you'll see store URL. So store URL is basically the something which we type to open a website. So you're just inputting it here. For the timing, because your website is not complete, we are giving you linker.store, but you can use it at a later stage as well if you decide not to take it live on your own domain. This is a little confusing, so I'll explain that with an example. So we'll quickly go back to the screens that we are looking at. So let me look for a website wherein it is not live on the domain. Give any example that I have. Let me open one example for you, and just ignore the yellow dots because I am logged in to the seller panel. That's why they might be appearing. Or let me just open it on a private window so that you don't see those yellow dots, right? So this is an example where the exporter is using linker.store. So linker.store is our subdomain that we are providing to you, and you can use it for as long period as you want. It is your decision. You can continue to use it. But if you decide to take it live on your own domain, then you can also do that. So here you can see this is HimalayanNaturals.com or HakoOnline.in, Makari Electrical Industries or Desire Beverages or AppFreehouse.co.in, right? So you can take it live on your own domain as well. So that is your decision if you want to take it live on your own domain. But if you want to use linker.store, you can also do that. So entirely your choice. We are neither forcing you to use linker.store. We are not forcing you to take it live on your own domain. Take your time. Whenever you're comfortable, you can do that. All right. So that is about the domain part that you have to do here. Now, about the domain part, yes, it is little technical. I'll not say that it is entirely easy, and everyone will be able to do that. It requires little understanding of DNS, etc. So, if any one of you gets confused or you're not feeling sure, please do feel free to reach out to us. You can reach out to our help desk. One of our executive will connect with you. They'll take you on a screen share and they'll help you in pointing the domain, right? So with the domain part, if anyone is getting confused, please do feel free to reach out to us and we'll be more than happy to help you. Now, once you have done that, after that, you have to upload one more product. That's the next step that you have to do. Uh, Now, there's a bulk process also available. A lot of time people ask us that, hey, we have a very large catalog. If we are uploading one product at a time, it will take us a very long period of time. So is there a bulk process available? Yes, certainly it is. And it is also explained in the video where you can go and you can download the sample format. But this is where you have to just upload one product as part of this journey, this process of creating your digital catalog. So although the entire process is explained in a very great extent or very detailed manner in this video. So I'm not going to spend your valuable time there, but there are two values which I'll be explaining. First is GI product. So GI product is a geographic indication of India. So these are specialty product and they also have a special place on Indian Business Portal. So if I quickly take you to Indian Business Portal, and this is where you can see the GI product is the first category. And if we quickly click on it, it takes us here. So GI or specialty products can be from various categories like agriculture, food, handicraft, etc. And if we, for example, try to understand about Varanasi, which is Banaras and which is very popular for Banarsi sari, it's also popular for wooden lacquer toys. So for example, this is a GI product and it also gets a GI emblem. I'm not sure how big it is. I'm going to just quickly open the product detail page so that you can have a look at the GI emblem. So all the GI products get this GI emblem. So this is a GI product from wooden Varanasi wooden lacquer toys, right? So that's how the GI products are displayed. Now, if you are dealing in a GI product, you can select the GI tag and then you can select the GI category and subcategory from the drop downs. And then you have to upload the GI certificate. Without uploading a GI certificate, you'll not be able to specify your product as a GI product. The second point which I would want to clarify are these categories which you are seeing here. These categories, a lot of people confuse them with the navigation which we see on the website, like these navigation. No, these are not for that. There's a separate feature for navigation. This is where you are telling the system, you are telling the website that please display my products in this category and this subcategory on Indian Business Portal. Or if I quickly take you back, so just imagine that you are an exporter of agri product, you are dealing in rice or wheat. So you're telling the system that please display my products here. So here we have wheat. So we are telling the system that place my products in agriculture and then grain and wheat. So that's what you are doing by selecting these categories and subcategories. That is the purpose. Rest of the steps are explained in the video in great details. We'll just skip that. And this is where you'll all agree that there is nothing technical we have done so far. So the entire process, including image upload, etc., is explained in the video. So once you are done uploading the product, then you have to click on this home shaped icon, which you can see on the top of the screen, which will bring you to the screen. Here, all you have to do is to click on this big button that you can see, which is currently unpublished. Click on that and it will publish the store and you'll see a congratulatory message that you have completed the digital catalog creation journey. All right, so this is where I will just, sorry. Let me hide this. And I'll now take you to a demonstration account, and I'll explain the rest of the steps. So once you have gone through this journey, then now obviously you have to upload the remaining products that you have. So you can go to the products section and you can decide, depending on how many products you have, and either upload them one at a time, or if you want to upload them in bulk, you can do that. And then after that, you have to go to your store settings and then you have to click on store details. which will open the store detail section. And that's where you'll see there's a section called about your export. You have to also feed in the information. So if you recall, I showed you the profile of one of the exporters. And if I can quickly take you back there, I think we have closed that profile. So I'll try to open that once again if I can find it, or let's open any. My internet has become a little slow, so please bear with me. So this section which you're seeing here, this section gets the information from here on your digital catalog. So please do fill in the information. And as I mentioned earlier, the objective is to impress the international buyer. So add as much information as possible. And again, it is not a very complicated field like your IC code, what type of legal entity, manufacturer or merchant, your previous 3 years turnover, countries you have exported to, countries you would like to export to, how many employees you have. License and certificate extremely important, and then advantages innovation. That's where again you have to add a little brief. Lastly, what type of proposals you are interested in, and then click on save, and this gets updated. So this is the second step that you have to do. After that, you can go to your my store section and you can select a suitable theme. You can upload the banners, and once your digital catalog is ready, you're confident that now it is looking nice, and if the international buyer comes, we have a chance of impressing them. So once it is ready, you have to come to the home section, and here you'll see there's a send request option. Click on that, which will open this overlay or pop-up. On this pop-up, you'll see the screen has two parts. On one part, we have listed do's and don'ts. Read those, but more importantly, watch this video. All of you should watch this video. This video explains what are the mistakes that can prevent your business from being showcased or approved from or approved for being showcased, right? So your request for a listing on Indian Business Portal can get denied or rejected. And what are the mistakes because of which it can get rejected are explained in this video to the detail. Plus, how to fix those mistakes is also explained in this video. So please do review the video, and it will give you an understanding. Once you are confident that there are absolutely no mistakes, then you can look at the other part of the screen. That's where you have your store name and IC code, etc. All are pre-populated. The only thing that you can do is you can specify whether you're a FIO member, and then you can select the terms and condition and click on submit. The request goes to our operations team, who will review your request, and within 2 to 3 working days, your request will get approved or rejected in case you have made a mistake. And that's how you'll be able to link your digital catalog in Indian Business Portal, and then your product or service offering will start appearing on Indian Business Portal. Now, very quickly, before I stop the screen share, I mentioned I wanted to show you one more slide, and this is equally important because this is something which we have noticed that people are doing many mistakes. So I'll just quickly explain to you what mistakes are there and you should avoid. So mistakes that you must avoid on your digital catalog. One is not uploading individual product. What does this mean? So it means, like, for example, you deal in spices. Now, instead of uploading black pepper, cardamom, etc., like individual products, you just uploaded one product, Indian spices. That is where, why have you even done that effort? Because that's where you are limiting your discoverability to the extent, right? So this is as good as not having a digital catalog. Don't do that. Upload individual products. Not adding proper product title. You should add the product title. And again, as I mentioned, the objective is to impress the international buyer and also to get discovered by international buyers. So just adding like black pepper, you can consider like Malabar Grobel M2, which is a category, or M1, which is a grade of black pepper. So you can add that, right? So you can add product specifications to the title so that the title gets improved in the discoverability, and international buyers can relate to it as well. Then not adding product description, right? This is where you're assuming, like, looking at the product, the person will be able to understand. But firstly, the person has to find you, right? If you're not adding the product title, they'll not be able to find you. And if they're not able to find you, how will they understand about you, right? So product description, in today's day and age, you don't even have an excuse of not adding a product description because you have AI tools that can do it for you. You have to just tell the AI tool few basic details and it will do it for you, right? So This is where you must add product description. Not adding meta title and description. These are used for search engine optimization. Extremely important if you have done a search, and I'm believing every one of us done that. So in the Google, you'll see there's a blue color big title that is meta title, and the gray color text is meta description. If you have not added, you'll not be visible there, and people will not be able to discover you. Not adding information about your export, that section which I showed to you, extremely important to update. Not categorizing your product properly. This is where, for example, instead of like specifying that this is a wheat, this is a rice, this is millets, and this is pulses, I've just put them in an agriculture category. Again, you are uh, killing your own business. You are reducing the visibility, because that's where the products will not be visible to the relevant customers or at the right place. Not uploading a logo. Will you do a business with a website that looks empty, that does not even have a logo, right? No one will do that. No sensible human being will do that. So why are you expecting international buyers to do that, right? So not uploading banner. Your website looks like a work in progress. No sensible person will do business with you. Fix that. Not setting up the navigation. So your website, you have not created the navigation. It does have product, but it does not have a navigation. Let me show you an example. I think I have opened a website. If I can show it to you. This is a website. It does have a product. It is not like it does not have a product. It does have a product. No logo, no banner, no navigation. Nothing is there. Will you do business with this company? Absolutely not. I'll not do it. So that applies with the international buyers also, right? So it should be a decent looking, it should be a nice looking website that you should created. Not adding content about your business. So about your export is like bare minimum. If you want to be on Indian Business Portal, that's where you have to add that. But in addition to that, right? So that is the bare minimum that you are providing. You should also tell your own story, right? What is your business and how you have grown this business? What are the clients that you have catered to? If there's a case study that you would want to showcase how you have solved some international clients requirement, etc., etc. Just add all that information to build that credibility, to build that trust, to impress the international buyer, right? So that is your job, your objective. Now, the mistakes which people do on the profile, not verifying the company, that is a huge, huge mistake. So I'll quickly again switch the screen. This is the profile. This is a profile which all of you will get. Now, if you're not verifying your business, you will not get the green tick. Obviously, anyone who's coming across your profile on the business networking, someone from let's say US is looking for an exporter, a rice exporter, and they come across your profile. You happen to be a rice exporter, but you don't have a green tick. You're not telling the world like I am a genuine business. If you're not verifying yourself, you must verify yourself. Not uploading the logo again, like why would someone do business with a company that is not sincere enough to even upload a logo to their profile, right? Why would someone do business? Not uploading banner. So this is where you even have an option to select existing banner. You don't even have to put in effort to upload the banner. If you don't add that, that's where you are again showing that you're not sincere, or you're not serious about the business. Not uploading your own profile. Very important saying, and you may have heard this is by very popular motivational speaker. People do business with people whom they like or connect, whom they are able to connect and like. So if you're not adding your profile picture, obviously you're not presenting yourself, and again that shows a lack of sincerity. So please do add your profile as well. Please add information about yourself. What is your story? What is your background, etc. So that you're presenting yourself. This is my business and this is what I've done. And please do feel free to connect with me to take the discussion forward. That's where you are building, you're bolding coming out, and not adding information about your company. If you have certificates, etc., you're not adding that, right? So if you have a weak profile, again, you're missing out on that. So these are very important mistakes that prevent you. You're creating your digital catalog, but if you're not doing it correctly, you're not adding the required information, this is as good as not doing it, right? Because you'll be wasting your time. I don't want you to waste your time. That's why I thought of creating this slide and sharing with you. I'll also try to add it to the recording that you'll get, so that you also have this presentation with you. All right. So this is where I am going to stop sharing, and we will break into the question answer round. All right. So I can see there are a few questions which are already being asked. So I'll try to have a look. I will just move the windows back to my front monitor. I can see the first question was from Mr. Kuldeep. So, Mr. Kuldeep, if you're still here with us, I think you have got an answer to your question. If you need any further details, please do feel free to reach out to me. As I promised, I will be sharing my contact details with everyone. So, let me do that very quickly. Just give me a quick second to do that. In the meantime, if there's a question, please do feel free to add that in the Q&A. I'm also sharing with you a link to connect with me on Global Linker. So please do feel free to do that. I'm going to share my contact details in the chat with everyone. So please do feel free to reach out. Next question was from Mr. Jay Mehta. Business community part. I think Mr. Jay's question is also answered. I have also walked you through. I can see there's a question by Mr. Naveen. Naveen ji, I am sharing my email ID with you. Please do drop me an email. I'll have someone from my team reach out to you. And please bear with me if you see flickering in the light. There's a power cut and power backup is going crazy. So just bear with me on that.
So Arnan, I'm responding as much as query on this chat box only.
Sure.
Yeah.
So Pratik, I'll need your help. There's one question from Mr. Mohammed Rafiq. He is asking about the overseas exhibition. So, Mr. Rafiq, I am not clear on your question. So you want to
So
understand?
let me respond that more. So
Sure.
basically, once you become a member of FIU, you are basically participating into the different exhibitions, international exhibitions organized by FIU. It could be exhibition, it could be a delegation where B2B meetings are happening. And in that case, some of our B2B delegations are also covering the visits to the supermarts over there or ports over there or these kind of an let's say stakeholders meeting, which is a part of that entire international trade. So we do such that. Related to sightseeing, I'm still not clear, but yes, during this any kind of an exhibitions and we try to having a meeting with most of the stakeholders, which is a part of this international trade ecosystem.
Thank you, Pratik. Next question I can read is from Mr. Vinay Kumar, and I think there it is related to other questions as well. So, wherein member is wanting to understand if there is any place where they can get the contact details of international buyers, and you can start bothering them. You should absolutely not do that. So this is where let's accept or respect the privacy of international buyers as well. If they allow PO that you can share our contact details and they can connect with us personally. PO does that, but like let's appreciate or understand others' privacy as well. Like, just imagine you are an international man and every day you are getting 100 emails or 1,000 emails every day. That will be extremely frustrating as well, right? Or calls as well. So it's try to avoid that. doing that. Doing it through your Airtel catalog. So if you are running let's say you are running a search campaign, and there's someone who's looking for cardamom or basmati rice, they click on your search ad, and that's where you get their details, and then you are approaching. That is the right way of doing it. Is promotion for Airtel catalog free if you are promoting it yourself? You can learn Airtel marketing. It is not very expensive to learn, and you can do it yourself as well. If you're hiring a Airtel agency, that will charge. Certainly, that was the question around Airtel marketing. I can see there's a comment by Mr. Nathan. 60% of our profile is complete. Let's try to get it 100%, Nitinji. Next point I can see is from Kavya. So Kavya, this is something which I've shared earlier as well. They must have blocked your email ID or blacklisted the email ID as well. That obviously.
No, but Adnan, the Kavya, where she's asking that whether she's contacting to the buyers to whom she basically submitted interest on Indian Business Portal. So definitely we can check with those buyers that why they are not responding to her email, or whether the requirement is fulfilled by other exporters. So at least that info that we can check with the buyer who are registered with us, because we always have these kind of an discussions with buyer that if any buyer is not responding to the exporter, many times we have contacted to the buyer and asking them that at least they should reply to the exporter whether they are still interested or not. And we have seen there is some, let's say, buyers who either into the holidays or they are into the long leaves, and it's not like that they are just forwarding that email to their colleagues. So most of the time it takes some times to get the response. But however,
Mhm.
if she has contacted to the any buyer which is circulated on Indian Business Portal, we will definitely cross check.
Sure.
So the query which is raised by Mr. Tushar, I think this is something very good query, and every exporter who is integrating their stores with Indian Business Portal, they should basically double check with that whether the store is appearing on Indian Business Portal or not. I
Right.
think, Mr. Tushar, if you can share your store link or store name with Mr. Adnan, they would be.
I can, yeah, certainly get checked. To Tusharji, I'm sharing my email ID with you. Please drop me an email and I'll get it checked. So if any one of you, and I'm not just addressing Tusharji, any one of you is having any difficulty, you can reach out to our help desk, or you can also send me an email, and I'll have someone from our team connect with you and look into the issue that you are facing and also resolve that. And this is sort of a best practice, which is also suggested by Prateek, that you have created your Airtel catalog, you have submitted your request, and then you have also received a congratulatory message that your store is approved, your request is approved. But in addition to that, as a seller, you should also go to Indian Business Portal, search for your own product, whether they are appearing in the search. And that's where you can even go one step further, not just ensuring that your products are visible. How can you bring them up in the search, right? So you know that this is my product and what will be the search words or search terms. So based on that, you can do a little search engine optimization for improving your visibility on Indian Business Portal as well, right? So you can improve the title, you can improve the description, and that will improve the position where the products are appearing on the search. So you should also do that. But the first thing that is extremely important is that go to Indian Business Portal and ensure that your products are appearing and they're appearing at the right place.